Hey guys, and welcome to part 27 of Let's Play Pokemon Emerald. In the last part we got through the Magma Hideout, took on the boss, the boss-like character, and yeah, now obviously the first thing to do is to leave this area. So yeah, there's no special warp, but you do actually just come out of an entrance that is pretty much right near the end, so... Although all this place looks pretty much the exact same, so I was assuming this was the right way to go, and luckily for me it was. So you can tell by the boulders, because we've seen the boulders before. So yeah, now with that done, we don't have to go back there again. So I'm gonna fly to Lily Cove City, which actually isn't where you're supposed to go. The whole reason I came here, this was me, because this is a blind LP at this point in time, so I was like, okay, I took on the Magma Hideout, I took them out, logically I should now go to the Team Aqua base. Right? I mean, that makes sense, but as we're going to find out, you're not actually supposed to come here just yet, and we're going to see why in a bit. Going to go in here, and the two guys are still standing there, although they do now say something different. He's now saying they jacked a submarine or something. And if you talk to this guy, yeah, he's on his way to Slateport City. So obviously the thing to do is now go to Slateport City, because his boss, Archie, the evil Archie, despite seeming to like us and to be friends with us, is still evil, and we do have to stop him and his meddling ways. So yeah, if you want to skip out this, you don't have to come here at all and talk to them. So if you played this game before, you would have just headed straight to Slateport, but I didn't, so that's what they tell you. They tell you to go to Slateport. Right, here we are, nothing too unusual going on. Hold on, what's all this commotion? Let's talk to the captain. Yeah, exploration, there's Gabby again. This time she doesn't want to battle us, she actually wants to do a job this time, which is quite nice. I'm glad she's moving on with her life. Alright, whew. So yeah, they're now planning their exploration or something, so... And he talks about an underwater cave, which we will probably end up going somewhere near in the future. What the... Everyone's confused. What was all that about? Someone just said something evil. So yep, so something's going on in harbour. Yeah, there's Archie, there's the boss. And for some reason they don't show the submarine actually on... I guess they just couldn't be bothered to make a submarine, so instead they just jump in. And I actually thought when I first saw that the submarine was floating upwards, that's why there was a shadow. But apparently it's actually floating, it's actually in the water, that's why they just jumped in and got in the submarine, so they left. So, because, you know, that would make sense if it was floating up above, but then it wouldn't make sense that the shadow just moved, you know. And they got away by, you know, carrying the submarine. But now that we've done that, we can finally go into Team Aqua's base, what we've been trying to do all this time. And this is a very embarrassing moment for me. I got lost here. I didn't, like, Lily Cove isn't a super complicated place, but you can very easily, there's only one specific route to get to where Team Aqua is, so this is me, even though I've gone to that base many times before, this is me embarrassingly getting lost. I don't even know how I did it. But if you come over here, there's a max repel. I was sure that we got that before, but I guess I did that off screen and didn't save, so yeah, there's a max repel right there, which you can actually get them in the place that we're going to head to now. I go back. No, I swear no, yeah, you can get max repels in Lily Cove big supermart, but we're not actually going to go there yet because we've got to stop the evildoers from their evil doing. So now we can finally enter this place for the third time, and no people. We can just go in. Of course there's some guy doing his rounds, walking around in a big circle pretty damn fast. So let's take him on. So this place, it's a lot better than Team Magma's was. Team Magma was a bit, this is a bit boring really, but it's not that long, so it wasn't too much of a problem. But this place, you actually have to, you know, there's actually stuff to see, and you are actually chasing down someone, and you do know what you're actually doing. In the other one, you had no idea what you were doing. You know, they don't tell you exactly what you're doing when you're in the Magma Hideout. You just have to, you know, assume that you're you need to go there and you assume that you're meant to stop something, but here you actually know that you're trying to get hold of Archie because he stole a submarine. I don't know what you plan to do, you know, battle him and then he'll just give it back. Then you'll just carry it all the way back to the harbour. I don't know if that's the plan, or drive it back. I mean, you're 10, you can't drive a submarine. But yeah, there's a bit more to it. There's not quite as many trainers, which is quite nice, so you don't have the... This part won't just be battles with Pokemon we've already seen, and Team Grunts that we've already battled before, so don't have to worry about that. But you're going to want to do these battles mainly because of the next gym. Yeah, you're going to want to make sure... You want to take advantage of these battles. Sure, you can skip them, but you can get some valuable XP here. I would just recommend doing it, because you're going to need it. You're going to need it for the next gym. Alright, and returning... It wouldn't be a Pokemon game, would it, without these warp pads? But it's actually quite interesting, because rather than just being like... In the first generation, they were kind of bad, you know, they were just kind of annoying, and you had no idea which one would take you where, but... In this one, it's actually done a really good job. And here, as you can see, to get through here, you have to go on the right panel each time. But, of course, you don't actually know which panel is which, so you just have to kind of memorize which way to go. If you go the wrong way, you go backwards when you're just trying to keep going down. Now, the main problem I had with this is that this screen here, and then, that screen there, and this screen there looks far too similar. I mean, they don't look exactly the same, they just looked a bit similar, so I got a bit confused. I was like, did I just stay on the same bit, or did I... What happened? So... But really, it's not too hard, it's a nice puzzle. They really did do a good job with the puzzles in this game, so they're not ridiculously hard, but they're also, you know, you're not going to do them straight away, it's quite nice. You know? But you're definitely going to want to do it because you come into this room, which looks like some executive room, and we have 4 Pokeball here, and 2 of them are electrodes, which I think is the first time we've seen them, but they're not actually providing power to anything, you know. Like in the second gen, you took on the Voltorbs and electrodes so they stopped supplying power. Here, they're just here to trick you, you know. It'd be pretty cool if the Pokeballs were actually upside down. You know, the sprites would be upside down. Because that's how Electrode looks, it looks upside down. Sure, you may be able to tell which one's Electrode, you go up to it, that one's white on the top, that's the Electrode, but I think it'd be cool, it'd be a nice touch. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. So I'm just using Floss because I couldn't be bothered to switch out. I probably should have gone for a different Pokemon, but it's a bit too late now. I had a bit more trouble than I would have liked taking out that Electrode. But if we now... Well, now I'm going to switch in Gummy just because Floss is so badly damaged. You know. I probably should have switched in Marmite, but... So here we find a Nugget, which is worth quite a lot of dough. And we find the Master Ball, which I was completely surprised by. I was like, what? You just find the Master Ball on the floor? That's both really cool and really weird at the same time. So, what that does mean that you can, in this generation, skip out on the Master Ball. Because in other generations, you just get given it by doing something that you have to do. You know, which makes sense. You know, it'd be awful if you missed out on the Master Ball, but you can always come back here anyway if you, say, needed it and was like, oh, I don't have the Master Ball, where is it? You can just look online and find out that it's in here, so... But yeah, you can miss out on it, that's very easily done. Which I thought was kind of cool that they did that, but... Oh. So I'm healing Floss just because, you know, money isn't a problem in this game, and I'm going to get more potions later anyway, and I'd rather Floss have the experience now than wait and not have the experience, so... This is the way you actually meant to go to get to the end of this place. And if you go over here, you're going to have a double battle again. Super simple, Zubat, Puccino, whatever, you know. Another reason why I like this place is because I like... This is such a stupid thing, but I like how the battles look. You know, the battle arena? Like how it's blue underneath, then it's all blue stripes. I don't know, I just thought it was cool. I don't think it's the best thing in the game, but I thought it was a nice touch. Definitely a lot better than the fireplace. Oh, it's a bit red. So Gummy levels up, finally. Yeah, not much to say about this bit, really. Once again, Dragon Breath on Floss is really working out quite well. That's all I pretty much use in this part, and use mostly anyway, Dragon Breath, because Dragon Breath is a really strong attack, and it has a chance to paralyze, and a pretty good chance as well. you know, more often than not, I find that when I use Dragon Breath, Pokemon get paralyzed, which is very handy to have, and I will definitely be using to my advantage later on. Right, there's another grunt just walking around in circles. You owe me a battle. Okay, sure. Let's see what you got. Oh, that's all you got. That's it. Yeah, and now it's dead. I'm sorry, but if that's what you've been waiting for all day, you must have been bitterly disappointed. And you had to pay me money, which is quite nice. I'm glad we betted on this battle. Gambling's wrong and whatever, but I betted on this battle, it's fine. Well, of course I'm going to switch in Floss again, because Floss is level 35. Floss can just use Dragon Breath now. I'm not worried about Floss having bad attacks and doing bad. So you come over here, you don't have to come over here, you find a nest ball. So again, like this area, it has these little panels, and it's a lot more fun to explore and see what's what, rather than Team Magma, where it's like, go over here and maybe... I don't know, I just found this area to be a lot better and a lot better designed and a lot more fun. But KO a pesty meddler. Do you know what KO means? That means knock out. So he's saying all he has to do now is knock out a child. Or beat up a child. That's a bit harsh. I mean, he only had a Zoombat, so he didn't really stand a chance against Floss, so I just killed him. I KO'd him, as he would apparently say. How fast this was supposed to happen. So yeah, now one thing that the teams always do, they always seem to realise how good you actually are, and then they just say, oh yeah, that was meant to happen. Yeah, here's something that's quite interesting. What this guy says on the right. Come on, come over here. Yes, I know you're very shocked, but... yeah, he says how he had to learn how these warp panels are connected. And that's interesting, because in my Pokemon Pearl LP, I made the joke about how Team Galactic, would they have to go through the maze every single day? Would they just get lost sometimes? Would new recruits get lost? But in this game, Team Aqua, that guy actually says, oh yeah, by the way, I had to learn this whole system. And then afterwards, now he's going to say something else, like, I was too busy thinking about the warp panels. There we go. So, yeah, I guess they actually do, and that's confirmation from Nintendo. That's them recognising that there are these warp panels, and it would be inconvenient for a grunt to do it, especially if they were new. Now that scared me. That was like a Metal Gear Solid moment there. He turns around and sees you, but doesn't battle you. And I think that's the first and only time that ever happened in the whole Pokemon series. And I thought it was really interesting that they did it like that. It makes them seem a bit more human. Like, he sees you, he knows what you're going to do, but he's just waiting for you to come over. He doesn't have to battle you, you know? You're just here to try and stop him. He doesn't have to fight you, but... so I thought that was really cool and interesting. It seemed almost like a glitch, the way it happened, but oh well. So yeah, this is actually the final guy that you have to fight in this place. He has a lot of higher level Pokemon, and you don't actually have to fight like the leader, fight Archie this time, because Archie's currently in the submarine, and this guy actually has a Golbat, which is the first time I've seen it, so I sent out Gummy, because Psybeam would be super effective, but unfortunately for me, Wing Attack was super effective against me, so I lost. But again, I didn't have too much trouble with this guy. But that is the boss of this area, Matt, so he's now going to say like, oh, I'm evil, I'm going to do evil things. Yeah, hee hee hee. I guess they don't go ha ha ha, they go hee 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 if they're evil. Yeah, that's his really evil, he's like delirious evil. But yeah, that's all we actually have to do here, so in the next part we are going to give chase to the submarine and hopefully stop it. So I have been HonestTom23 and thank you very much for watching. Okay, see ya!